Hello and welcome to Religion and Life. I'm your host, Ozzie Ostwald. Our most ancient religious traditions have taught methods of breathing and meditation that promote physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. My guest today, Matthew Cooper, teaches breathing and meditation techniques that, while not necessarily religious, certainly carry physical, psychological, and some say spiritual benefits. Join me as we learn about how Matthew's techniques can promote mindfulness, self-reflection, connection to nature, and personal growth. Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming today.
I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah. So we were chatting a little bit before this. I learned some things about you. I especially appreciate what I just said about connection to nature, because I think you feel that intimately. But
it's necessary.
Yeah. But before we go there, just tell us about yourself, what you do, what your connection to the university is, and we'll go from there.
Well, my name is Matthew Cooper. I've lived in the high country since '99, was a student here for undergrad in psychology, traveled a little bit in New Zealand, living on people's land for learning how to live sustainably, self-sufficiently, and came back to get my master's in counseling here. And speed forward, about 6 years ago, I started working here at ASU for the faculty and staff providing counseling, which our department provides. There's 4 therapists. We provide 12 free sessions per person for everybody at ASU, the employees and faculty and staff. And that also applies to your spouses and if you have children and or couples or family system work.
Oh, wow. And you do these workshops on meditation and mindfulness and breathing?
One of our responsibilities or just tasks in the role that I play is not only to provide the free therapy, but to also add and offer workshops around therapeutic practices or concepts. And meditation practices and breathing exercises have always served me. And once that kind of, this is what you need to do, I thought, this is what I'm offering. Yeah. It serves me and it serves others who show up.
Great.
So I've been sharing and doing this every Monday at 3 and every Wednesday at 9 through the Zoom links that are in the announcement emails. And I've 2 days a week, Monday at 3, Wednesday at 9. I could elaborate what that workshop is if you want me to. Or,
I want to come back to that.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
but
fine.
First, I want to go somewhere where I hadn't really planned on going.
Okay.
And that is just learning a little bit about you. I feel like that you feel it's important to have a connection with nature. Henry David Thoreau said something like, our disconnection with nature has led to physical and psychological problems, and I guess the converse of that would be true, that immersion in nature would help lead to physical and spiritual health. Would you comment on that a little bit? What is it about this nature thing that we need so much, and why?
That's a long-winded question. I mean, for me, I find it healing and connecting and being with the elements of earth, just natural. I mean, that's almost the only word I can find for it. It is natural. I was able to connect with nature as a young person because we lived in the woods already, and my father took us backpacking, and then as I grew into an adult, now I practice self-sufficient lifestyles with growing our own food and storing food and selling food as an income also through the farmer's market here every Saturday. Just to have all my senses when I'm out in the farm being stimulated, right? There's smells, there's the breeze, there's the heat, there's the cold, there's the rain, there's thankfully we have a creek next to us, so I can get relief from heat if I need to. Getting dirty is actually kind of fun, childlike, It's something that I think we should try not to lose, is playing. And then there's the beauty and the relationship that I've experienced more and understood more with growing food. I have 2 daughters, and farming feels like raising a lot of babies.
Yeah.
If you don't tend to them and nurture them, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Well, just listening to you describe that, I'm teaching a class right now on religion and climate, religion and sustainability. And there's a movement called eco-spirituality.
Okay.
And what you just describes eco-spirituality perfectly. I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there something, do you feel something spiritual about all this?
Oh,
And
most
I know
definitely.
it's very sensory and everything, but
There's a conversation going on with myself, and I just call it life. Especially in the farm world. There's just a conversation with myself about what I'm doing, whether it's working or not working, rather than beating myself up when mistakes or failures happen, because in nature, there's bounty and then there's loss. And you just have to, I just have learned that I have to ride that wave and just keep trusting and keep reflecting on what can I do differently. And when you, I think the best way I can maybe name like this relationship with something else that's going on, especially within the farm, is when it comes to help. I have never put out an ad for labor, but I need labor. I need somebody like 20 hours a week every season, and I pay. And people either call me, and I've never met them. I have the privilege of working with some students every semester, and every now and then one of them catches on to the vibe of farming and then says, "Can I help you?" When there's been, somebody may quit mid-season and someone's calling me 2 weeks before asking if they can come and help, and hadn't responded to them yet. And then, oh, wow, this person quit. Then now I need to respond to that person. And so
Right.
there's something magical happening, and I can only name it, and I almost should just really journal all this stuff so I can recall it better.
You're kind of a modern day Thoreau yourself.
I guess so.
Yeah. So farming is one aspect of what you do. So let's we might come back to
Okay.
that. I just love hearing you talk about farming, but I also want to get to the meditation stuff that you do. Of course, I've got an image here that we'll look at. But when I came to first learn about meditation, I kind of learned about it in a religious context, ancient Ayurvedic traditions, Hindu traditions, Buddhist traditions, and here we've got some religious symbolism surrounding this person in a lotus position, but it doesn't have to be like this, right? I mean, it's even though there are these ancient roots, it seems like these practices have become almost mainstreamed today. So is it secular or sacred or both, these meditative processes and procedures?
I mean, for me, maybe there's a sacred element for sure. I don't know about secular. I mean, I don't know what to add, honestly. I just know breathing exercises. I can explain them physiologically, how they're helpful, and psychologically. And then maybe they're just supportive for nurturing more depth, connecting to more depth of yourself.
Yeah, and I guess when I say secular, I'm talking about the way some of these processes have been used in, say, a medical setting to help people deal with anxiety. So when I'm thinking about, meditation helps deal with anxiety, I'm thinking that's a little bit different from saying meditation is a way toward inner growth and inner spirituality. But I don't know if that's just an artificial.
From what my little viewpoint is, the Eastern practices moved west, and then the West studied it with science. Explains it in scientific language. Yeah, is kind of the little bit I understand, and that's fine. That's just another way to get to know it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the science of it. You said you could describe physiological and psychological effects from doing the breathing that you do with people.
So yes.
And you distinguish between meditation and breathing, or do they? Okay.
Oh, they can go together.
Okay.
So there's lots of breathing exercises or techniques. The one I got hooked on is called Wim Hof, WIM space HOF. And it's what I would categorize as an intense breathing exercise. And what it does specifically on the physiological level is resets our nervous system. And so the nervous system, is constantly scanning for something to be alarmed of or a threat that might be coming in. And we have our sympathetic state, which will put us in that fight, flight, or freeze state. And then the parasympathetic is what most people want to be in, that calm, relaxed, just chill. Our digestive system works more optimally when we're in that parasympathetic state. So when we're just living our normal life and perceived threats occur, it's like a little hit, and we're going into the sympathetic state. And then if we're not doing anything to shift back to a parasympathetic state, then we just spiral out, or anxiety takes over, as a lot of people experience. Panic attacks can show up, overwhelm.
The stress hormones that flood our body. Yeah.
That's right, the cortisol, too much cortisol in the body. So the Wim Hof resets the nervous system. And when the nervous system resets, then your endocrine system, the hormonal system, becomes more optimal. The immune system becomes more optimal, and you just are back to a stronger state and being. And real quick, the Wim Hof fella convinced a hospital in the Netherlands, that's where he's from, to do a study to prove how powerful this technique is. So they did a control study where they took two groups, one group who did nothing, the control group, and then the other group, about 12 participants each. The other group, and they all volunteered to sign up to get injected with E. coli. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So the other group did the Wim Hof for their first time, 4 days in a row, just one time each day, and definitely before they went in to go do the injection. The control group was all laid out for 7 to 10 days with flu-like symptoms. And the group who did the Wim Hof one time, 4 days in a row, all walked out with minor headaches, nausea, or no symptoms. And that's what sold me on this. I thought, what?
That's impressive.
Yeah, and so I love hearing about healing practices and ideas, and then I'd sample them and find out if it fits or works,
Right.
And I haven't been able to give this one up.
Well, I've got another image up here. If we can go forward here, I think we'll hear some people meditating. But let's go one more image here, because here's there he is.
Yeah.
And he's something else.
Yeah, his nickname's the Iceman also.
The Iceman, yeah. So I want to get back to the breathing, but he's also known for these kinds of putting his body into extreme situations.
Yep.
Sitting in an ice bath for hours.
Yeah.
Running a marathon barefooted north of the Arctic Circle.
That's right.
I mean, so what's with that? I mean, is this what you're not teaching that?
No,
okay,
I'm not teaching that.
What's going on with the theory behind that?
I mean, from what I have gathered on podcasts, because I've never met the man, I don't have enough money to go overseas and study from him.
All right.
I did a workshop online, a recorded workshop online for 10 weeks that he leads. But he's just showing that we have more potential than we think. Mm. That's his message, is what I gather.
Yeah.
Just to let everybody know you're stronger than you think you are.
Right.
And that the ice, or what also people are calling cold therapy or cold exposure.
Yeah.
Which we know about that living up in the hills here, right?
Right.
And so inadvertently, we're actually getting some health benefits when we're out there in the cold.
Yeah.
And I have done a small little research on cold exposure, cold therapy. All your neurotransmitters go up when you get into the cold. But this fella has definitely pushed the boundaries and limits that many researchers and doctors never thought a human body could do. I'm not advocating for that. I think the enjoyment of finding your limit is wise. Mm-hmm. Or that you're stronger than you think you are, right? And so I have pushed myself into cold creeks and showers to just experience, and what is this stuff about, Mm-hmm. I come out feeling refreshed every single time. Clarity is stronger, ready to do something is there, but with a relaxation. It's really nice. And so I found I don't remember the Danish woman's name, but it's on an Andrew Huberman podcast. And she's one of the first people to do a thorough research on cold exposure and the benefits. And what she discovered was 30 seconds under 60 degrees Fahrenheit is all we need.
Oh,
so
okay.
when we watch people like this, which is awesome, we may think, oh, I have to do 10 minutes to 30 minutes, an hour. And the reality is, if you're not trained well, you're going to hurt yourself or die.
Right.
So what I like about this Danish woman is that she dialed it in through research. 30 seconds is all we need.
I might be able to do 30 seconds under 60 degrees.
Yeah.
That sounds more doable.
It is doable for sure.
Yeah.
And what cold makes you do is turn to your breath.
Right.
Right? You get into some cold water.
Yeah.
And then you start to regulate your body by breathing. And so that's what turned him toward breathing exercises.
That's interesting. I had not made that connection. Well, since we made that connection, let's go back to your breathing.
Yeah.
Describe what you're doing when you're teaching a workshop on breathing.
Okay, okay, and then I lead into meditation. So what I learned with this breathing exercise for me is I've delved into meditations through my early 20s to my mid 40s now, and meditation never felt as easy as I had read, or did I experience some of the strong adjectives such as ecstasy and bliss instantly, you know. I think a lot of people get upset with themselves because they think that they're supposed to have it immediately.
Well, I guess goal orientation and meditation don't go together too well anyway, right?
Right. So I just noticed for myself that the Wim Hof practice kind of blows the mind away, relaxes the whole body, and then now I feel like I've set the stage for what I like to do of just being quiet. So the Wim Hof is typically three rounds, and they're identical rounds. You just take in 30 deep breaths, and you can do your mouth or nose, mouth, it doesn't matter, and you just want to breathe in all you can to the point the exhale just comes out naturally, and then breathe in and out without pause. And when you get to the last breath, you do something a little interesting. You take in that deep breath, and then you exhale about halfway to 3/4 and then stop. And then you just be, and you'll be amazed. Wow, I can hold my exhale for quite a while. And then when you feel the urge to breathe in, you take in a nice deep breath and hold for 10 seconds. And then you just do 2 more rounds, so 3 rounds total. And then that's about a 15-minute process experience. When you're done, now we enter into what I just say, quiet meditation for 5 minutes, and just stay focused on the sensation of your breath. That's what I encourage you to do for this next 5 minutes. Now, if your mind begins to wander, as it likes to do, that is okay.
That would be me.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
I've heard, yeah. I don't know how they measured, but anyways, if the mind begins to wander, then that's okay. Just notice that has happened, which is some mindfulness practice. And then you just come back to your breath, the sensation of breath. And then I invite people, if the mind feels like it's too much, then another simple breathing technique is just called 6-6. You just count to 6 as you inhale and 6 as you exhale. And it's called resonant breathing. That's another technique. So we do that for 5 minutes, and then I encourage everybody to be inward, and you don't have to, but it seems to be beneficial and nice. Then after the 5 minutes, we do a body scan. So I just bring awareness to the toes and the feet and the ankles, and just carry all the way up every part of the face, and then the whole head, and then the whole body. And then because
are you seated or laying down?
Yeah, well, I'm seated because I'm getting zoomed.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
Zooms on me or whatever. So then, if I'm by myself, I like laying down.
For the body scan, I would think. Yeah, okay.
You can do the body scan sitting, but either way, the participant can lay down if they want. So when we have fully connected to the whole body, I just have a little saying that now that we're connected to the whole body, in this moment, see if you can tell whether your body is saying anything about what it needs from you to feel better. So I'm just helping people connect to their body in this moment. because we're always hanging out up in this space a little too long, in my opinion. And this thing drives a lot of us nuts. And so we need to get into the body, and we need to relax and calm down. And it's the healthiest escape I can experience. After the body scan, then I practice an intentional meditation that I really just kind of made up when I was younger. I just encourage people to attach the thought when you're breathing in, you say to yourself, I am breathing in positivity, and really make that an effort to really feel as if you're breathing in positivity, thoughts, feelings, energy, and flowing in and throughout the whole body. And then when you exhale, I am breathing out negativity, and just let it all go. And then to wrap up my workshop, I just invite people to now shift their focus towards gratitude, whatever they're grateful for in life, or to notice what they take for granted. And let's just hold that space of gratitude for 3 more deep breathing cycles. Just holding that, whatever it is, my life, my family, my spouse, my children, whatever it is.
So what's to combat our kind of hectic everyday stress life, what would be the optimal amount of meditation? Once a day, twice a day, whatever it takes?
Yeah. I tend to tell people, one idea I suggest is as needed.
As needed, okay, there you go.
If somebody asks, like, breath work, when should I do the Wim Hof? The reason I chose Monday at 3 and Wednesday at 9 is so you can get a taste for what it does for you in the afternoon, what it does for you in the morning.
Good.
Wim Hof says, what I've heard through podcasts is, he says when the first thing he does in the morning when he wakes up is just starts doing his breath work.
Wow.
I think that idea sounds nice as I age and feel more aches and pains in the morning. That stuff blows away if you really do it in the morning.
Right.
But sometimes, because society is a hustle and bustle, it's like I'm not carving out earlier time to practice and get the family and myself ready, and let's get to town and whatever we got to do. So the as needed part, I would suggest when you are feeling stressed, or just before you reach that overwhelming experience of I can't do anymore.
Yeah.
Or I'm exhausted.
Right.
So otherwise, if there's individuals who are really experiencing higher levels of stress and anxiety every day, I would say it'd probably be wise to try every day. And then there's Dr. Andrew Weil, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly.
I know the writer.
But he encourages, I think it's 4, 7, 8. Inhale to 4, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. And he encourages to do it twice a day for 2 weeks, and that your anxiety levels will plummet.
It's really amazing. And there's so much evidence that this really works.
Well, so when we perceive threat in this world, sympathetic
it all
state.
comes back to
sympathetic
breath.
state.
Yeah.
Okay, the fast pace is sympathetic state. Oh, I'm breathing fast. Okay, so we've got to start with awareness. Now I'm controlling and shifting the biochemistry of my body because I'm being aware of the state that's happening, and I don't like it. And so what can I do to counteract it? I can start to shift this thing right here.
Right. You said something just a minute ago that we tend to live our lives up here, and we need to reconnect with the body. And I think probably it's kind of typical of Western philosophy and religious traditions to have this dualistic conception of the rational mind and then the material body. But these meditation techniques are really based on a more organic view of what it means to be a person, that there's not shouldn't be a split between mind and body, that the two need to be...
Well, there isn't a split.
There you go. There isn't a split.
I don't know enough of the detailed history, but somebody made a split.
Somebody, might have been Descartes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, you would know this better. But there isn't a split. There's not.
But we're kind of acculturated to think that way.
We have been.
So how do you get beyond that? I guess you just practice it, right?
Well, for me, yes, I engaged in the ideas and practiced it, and did lots of yoga and learned, this is nice to be in the body instead of in the head. And I was kind of reflecting on this more recently, that physical labor, physical working out is also making you get into your body.
Yeah. Back to Thoreau, he used to practice walking meditation, which resonates with me really well.
Yeah.
I seem to be able to relax and be conscious of my breathing when I'm walking my dog.
Yeah.
I don't have a goal in mind except to be out there strolling.
Yeah.
And I kind of let him take the lead, and then I can just kind of
Let go.
get out of this headspace,
Yes.
right? So that works well for me.
Yeah, that's a wonderful technique. And what I would add to it is meditations, breath work, walking meditation, all brings presence, right? Brings us to the now. And what I've learned with working therapeutically with people and working on my own self is if we bring ourselves back to right now, the past and the future doesn't show up and create the stress that it normally does.
Yeah.
And so, like, if we were to pick on anxiety, if we start thinking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or more steps ahead of ourselves, we tend to start to get stressed because it's too far ahead.
Yeah.
And we want to maybe control it or match it all up, but all I know is it just keeps causing stress. And then if I go into the past, I may get down about myself or feel like I regret something maybe. There was a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, yes.
And that's what turned me on to the concept of being here now. And boy, as I became more mindful through mindful meditation of watching the mind, not attaching to it, seeing if I'm hanging out in the past, seeing if I'm hanging out in the future, okay, that's where let's reorient and come back to right now.
And that's kind of at the heart of this kind of contemporary interest in mindfulness and being aware, being fully aware, being fully present.
Yes.
And what you said, I've heard it said before that if you focus on the past, you're down the road to depression. If you start looking at the future, you're going to create anxiety for yourself. And boy, it's true, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's hard to live in the now. It's hard to.
Well, it's hard at first, yes, but everything that's new to us is hard at first, right? So if I want to become a good runner, the first couple weeks is kind of painful.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to become a scholar, the first few years of schooling is what I got to put in.
Yeah.
So it's a practice, as religious folks and philosophers say, or it's exercises. It's either or. So if you practice entertaining the ideas of being present, being here now, eventually it just becomes who you are.
Well, we're about out of time, but I'd just like to comment that what impresses me so much is that these ancient traditions, in virtually every religious tradition that I'm aware of, recognizes meditation, still have relevance in the contemporary world. So there must really be something there.
Well, there is. If I can add real quick, I have learned that chants and prayers apparently are written out in the way so that it makes you do breathing exercise.
How about that?
Yeah, I thought that was really
I'm
fun.
going to pay attention to that from now on.
I think that's interesting.
This has been fascinating. Thank you, Matthew.
Hey, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Likewise. Thank you.
Well, that's it for Religion in Life this week. I hope you'll join us again next week as we continue to explore the relationship between religion, society, and culture. Until then, this is Ozzie Ostwald.